Join us. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and through you, members of your board. I want to make Senator Tarr's appeal a bipartisan appeal. Senator Tarr is a Republican in the Senate. I'm the Democrat in the House of Representatives. This is an issue today when we ask for this pause that we see as nonpartisan, but in the best interests of the children in our district. If you received the binder, and you should have, and you've read through it, you know that there's 4 components to it that I'm just going to highlight briefly. One is the statement of our superintendent, Christopher Farmer, who lays out the challenges that the Gloucester School District already faces. The second is a report of Roger Garber, who will also speak today, where he outlines 27 areas where what's proposed in the charter school application is already being addressed by the school system. There's also a report of Peter Dolan that calls into question some of the partnerships within the application. And finally, there's school committee comment and also a letter from the Gloucester Education Foundation. And in it, they talk about the significant innovation that they've brought to the school system. $1 million grant from, in conjunction with MIT for a robotics program. A $600,000 grant from NOAA that focuses on a maritime heritage program. And it goes on to list others. And I'm not here to weigh the merits of each of those arguments, but to say that at least there's a significant rebuttal to the application. And having seen that, Senator Tarr and I have offered to facilitate meetings and discussions between both the proponents of the charter school application and those who are rebutting its assertions. So therefore, in that spirit of facilitating those discussions and allowing those discussions to take place, we've asked for the pause. And I just want to give 4 reasons for that pause. The first is, again, to allow the parties to talk and to facilitate those discussions, because what I find when I hear the proponents of the application speak and those that are rebutting it is everybody has the best interests of the children at heart. From my standpoint, it's frustrating to see 2 groups of people who are so passionate about the children of Gloucester and Cape Ann, but yet to see them on different ends of the spectrum. So our hope was to bring them closer together. The second is, as Senator Tarr pointed out, we're in uncharted territories within this economy. And what we hear at our consensus hearings, and I know that it's unprecedented that the commissioner actually commented on the economics and the economy that we face, but what we're being told at the State House is that the economic challenges that we see today will impact the budget of fiscal year 10, 11, and 12. So if there's anybody in this room that thinks that even if this economy sees an upturn by the end of this calendar year or fiscal year, that is the end of our problems, you're wrong. The best economic information presented to Secretary Kerwin and both chairs of House and Senate Ways and Means is that all 3 of those budgets, at the very least, will be impacted. Third, as I read Superintendent Farmer's comments, what I see is that there'll be a consolidation, at the very least, if not closures of small elementary schools. And I find it ironic because 2 years ago, the big pronouncement in education was preserve your neighborhood schools, keep your elementary school classes small. And now what we're hearing is perhaps this charter school comes in, and perhaps up to 3 elementary schools are closed, which then reverses the decision that the community came to 2 years ago to close its centralized large elementary school to move to the neighborhood schools. And what we'll see is a closure of those schools and a redirection to a large centralized elementary school. So when you vote today, should you vote in favor of the application and to move that forward, what you'll be doing is you'll be asking the community of Gloucester to reverse its position on education, which contradicts everything that the community was told 2 years ago. So please don't see this decision just in the narrowest of today we're approving an application. See it in the broader of this vote to go forward today, if it's taken, will reverse a philosophy of education that's been built on for at least the past, I would say at least the past decade of the school committee, to keep small schools open and to keep class sizes small. And the last point I'd like to make is there is a consensus in the legislature that we should look at the funding of charter schools. And if that process were to be undertaken, I know that the new House Chair of Education has interest in releasing a bill that will look at the financing of charter schools, to release that to a commission to study. We all know that a commission would take at least 1 year to review that process. Realistically, it would take the legislature 2 years to implement any change that could benefit our district, so there doesn't have to be this change in philosophy, and so that we can accommodate all of the innovative ideas that are being brought forth by, again, the proponents of the charter school and those in rebuttal. So I would ask this group to take that time, to take the pause that's necessary, so that